Okay. Today is January 27. Oh my god, it's almost the end of January. That is crazy to me. 2021. Wow, time's moving fast. Nah, like the way like just as I said it, January 27. Um, so a couple things that happened. I'm in the second week of school. There's actually work now, and I'm starting to get a little stressed for it. But I did my first piece of assignment yesterday. Like it was basically my first assignment. It wasn't too complicated. It was actually simple. So I did some of that. It didn't go too bad. It was good. Um, so what am I here? What am I gonna talk about today? Well, a couple things happened. I'll talk about that later. But I think in terms of updates, I'm okay. I'm doing my shit. Cool. All that. What else? Um, I've been I've been meeting a couple people. Well, meet. Um, so funny thing is, one of my goals this week was not this week, but general. I was doing the future authoring program, and one of the goals that week that I set was make new friends or expand social network. So I did that. Like obviously it's quarantine, it's lockdown. There's no way. Like it's hard for me to make friends, and I tried to make friends where I was comfortable, the internet, and so I've tried to do meet new friends on Reddit, and like people there were actually nice. I just had a lot of trouble um being interesting with just purely text and would purely just that's what I mean. Like it's hard for me to really vibe with a person or even yeah, it's hard for me to vibe with a person just purely on text. So it was hard to do that. Like I've met a couple people there, and like one guy was actually really good, and he was really good in terms of being my friend and like asking how I was doing and all that. But at the end, I was the shitty one. It's sad to say, but like it was genuinely like a really good. It could have been a good friend, but I for some reason it was really awkward for me. I think it's just been a while since I've made new friends. I've always been around the same people and the same sort of group, the same sort of vibe. I've always been, with my in my bubble, and like I think coming out of that did make me a little uncomfortable. And I don't know. It was weird. But so that happened. What else? Um so yeah, I did that. And I've been really trying to okay, anyway. So yeah, it was awkward. Like I wasn't really responding enough. I didn't respond much with enthusiasm. I tried. I definitely tried. It's just I think at the time it was hard. Like not hard. Like I'm making it seem like it was the hardest or I was like suffering or not. I I just wasn't there. I wasn't with it. I wasn't vibing, and I can forgive myself for that. I think I can. I think I made enough effort, but I also think that like that guy's not gonna lose much. You know, so I'm okay with that. So that this has happened like a month ago or whatever. Um. So yeah, I was trying to make new friends this week, and my idea of that. So I was like, I was in the middle of class. I was super bored, like, you know, as class is. So I decided to go on Omegle. And I sort of like go out there and like just do my shit, right? Like I get really really excited. Not really excited, but I get it sort of gets hype in there. It sort of gets really I like it. Um it makes me come out of my comfort zone a little bit. I'll learn how to I'll also sort of like, so my idea was that if I go on Amigo, I'll meet all different types of people, even though that the not like the chance of them actually being a friend is so small. You know what I mean? Like it's, oh my god, I can't, this hair, man. It is so much. I might just like straight up just, you know. um but yeah. So that was, it was weird. I'll say that it was weird because it's really, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry. What was I on? I was talking about going on Amigo. Yeah, so yeah, so the idea was that I would get out of my comfort zone, meet a different bunch of people, um, you know, kind of get an idea of how other people talk outside my group and like how to actually socialize with other people. Sure, like Omega's a weird place because it's not like, you know, half the people there just looking to troll and the other half is just awkwardly trying to make friends, and the age gaps and the fact that I have a baby face. It's like, it's not like, you know, the best environment, but it's better than nothing. It's surprisingly good at making me more comfortable with the idea of meeting other people. So there were actually a couple times where I had a couple good conversations with people. I met this one girl that um that that did Irish dancing. She lived in Alaska in a big city, I think. She lived in Alaska, Anchorage, I think. Yeah, that's what it was. And she had dance practice. So we talked for like, I'd say like 2 hours or an hour, it's whatever. And then after the conversation, it was actually a fun conversation. I, for me anyway, I couldn't really gauge if she was having fun, but she she stayed, so I'm assuming, or she was just nice. At this point it doesn't matter. But so we had a cool conversation, and she just sort of just ended chat because she had to go to dance practice, and I was okay with that because it's like, hey, you meet on Omegle, some like most of the times you're not gonna be able to get people's Snapchat and all that. So I think the next day I go all again on Omegle and have some fun there, and like really, I one of the interests were Discord, so um I met a British girl. Her name's Chloe, and I think that's her name. Yeah, that's her name. Sure, we'll go with that. I actually don't think that's her name. It's not, but we'll go with that because yeah. So this Chloe girl, we had a actually a fun time. I just got done class, and we were having a fun conversation. I sort of started off the conversation with, "Hey," and then she said, "Hey," and it was really awkward. So I was like, "Okay, you want to just do an awkward long pause?" And I'm like, and she was like, "Yeah," and then I just, you know, we did an awkward long pause, and surprisingly, although it was still awkward, it was a good icebreaker. I think I might use that one day more because I don't know. It's sort of like a common thing for me to have long awkward pauses with people. Like I think it's better for both people to acknowledge that it's a long awkward pause and be okay with that, then have try and say something like more awkward, like how's the weather, like, you know. So it was it that's so it went well. Like I wasn't like flirting or anything. It was just I was genuinely trying to make friends. And fortunately, after I don't know an hour or two, she sends me her Snapchat and all. And yeah, we were just talking. Um, a good amount of the conversation though, like after an hour, like she sort of did her own thing while I did my own thing. I was just like scrolling through Reddit and all that and like whatever. And she mentioned that I asked her. She was all like, "Okay, ask me questions." Um, So I'm like, okay, what do you do for fun? She's like, oh, I stick things together. I play Minecraft and all that. So at first I was curious about the whole sticking things together conversation. So that was cool. Um and yeah, like generally we were vibing. We were vibing pretty well. Like she was really comfortable and I really appreciated that about her. Like she was really comfortable. Like when I say comfortable, I mean like generally did not care how she looked or like she said some weird shit. Not gonna lie, like I don't know if it's just a British thing, but you know, she sort of reminds me of the kind of friends I have. Like, oh, fingers up my butt, like like some gay shit, right? Like, but yeah, like I I genuinely had a good time, and I could tell that she was also having a good time because she hasn't left yet, and so oh god, this comes the awkward part. So we end calls because it's late for it because it's British time. It's like it was 10 p.m. for me. It was like 2 a.m. for her. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Oh yeah, sorry. We played some Minecraft. It was okay. We didn't really get to play more. I mean, anyway. And I think the reason why I can talk about this is because it's like the whole that friendship is basically gone. I think. Um, I think I deem it so. Unless I sort of reach out. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. So what had to happen was after that, I started playing Siege with the boys because I want to play Siege with the boys because the boys are cool. So I was playing Siege. I get a Snapchat, right? I get a Snapchat saying that, hey, I'm not gonna lie, I think you're cute. I'm like, I was in the middle of a game, bro. Like I was trying to kill someone, and she's like, not gonna lie, I think you're cute. And look, looking back, it's just a simple compliment, and I should have taken it as that. But this is the crazy thing. I I think for a long time I'd felt so insecure about myself, and so um so in my own head that I basically deemed it impossible for someone to find me cute, whatever that means. So that took me by surprise, and I know it's like I just this is definitely my fault and why I can't fuck shit up. I didn't say it back. I said something along the lines of, so first of all, it took me like 5 minutes to respond, even though it shows I've already read it. So first of all, I said, "Oh, question mark, you have good taste." This is so dumb, bro. So I said that, and I'm just after I said, I was just cringing, bro. I was cringing hard, and like, and then I should have just said it back, like, you know, and just moved on and like just became friends, and like that would have been fine. But I took it as, oh, is this flirting? Question mark? Question mark? And yeah, it sort of took me by surprise, and I did not respond well. I must say, like it got all crazy up in here, and I. Anyway, so it ended up pretty awkward. Like I said, okay, whatever, and then in like basically like a long awkward way of explaining, hey, I think you're cute too, because I'm a dumbass. Oh God, it's just I I don't do too well with women. Man, it is horrible. But God, so we gotta do something about this hair, dude. Yeah, I gotta do something about this hair. Um, I gotta go on a bus or something, and then get a haircut, and then things will be good. So, um, anyway, so that happened. That's one story, by the way. Well, that's basically pretty much all the juice there. So yeah, it and then it's been like 2 days since we've talked, and she said hey the other day, like I think yesterday. And I was like, hey, I was trying to make conversation. Obviously, I don't know. I was putting in sentences, and it got to a point after like 10 minutes where she basically just responded with like one laughing emoji and responded with one aha or whatever, like some really awkward shit. So it was after the fact, it was very apparent to me that she did not want to continue conversation. I don't know. This is obviously assumptions, and maybe she was just tired. Maybe I don't know. Either way, no matter what, I pretty much fumbled up the vibe there and made it awkward. So yeah. To be fair, it is like the second person that I vibed with. If anything, practice makes perfect, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm just kind of glad that I even tried. Um, so yeah, I'm really just glad I tried. I That's it. I don't know. Other than that, though, uh, so what are my? Do you guys hear this? I hope not. Anyway, so that was basically what I've been trying to do best. You know, I just been trying to get it going. um, so what are my other social interactions? I've been going on the Healthy Gamer Discord. I went on there for the work study channel. It's basically a channel where people join to go work and sometimes talk about stuff, which is completely fine. And yeah, like it's a fun time. My first time being on there, it was actually genuinely enjoyable. I wasn't the most efficient with my work, but I was more engaged in my work than if I hadn't been there, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, generally I was pretty engaged. um yeah, I had a fun time. So yeah, I've been doing that. I've been going on the Healthy Gamer Discords, talking there, trying to talk there, trying to, and I was showing my camera, and it the first time was a fun time, and yeah, it was. So the problem with it is that so I think the main thing I wanted to really talk about was, despite me going out of my comfort zone and talking to more people, I've had more of, I guess that I had more, how do I say it? I realized more that I am more lonely, and it's a hard thing to admit. Like, the reason why it's hard to admit is because I have people around me. I always have people to talk to. I think I was convincing myself that what I needed was more friends. Because yeah, I've had feelings of loneliness, and I've convinced myself that if I get more friends or if I get more people to talk to, I'll become less lonely. Obviously, that's not the case because, well, I'm not saying that, going out of my comfort zone and meeting new people is definitely harmful. It's not. If anything, I think it's beneficial. I think it makes me more comfortable and meeting people. It makes me more aware of the outside world, I guess, outside my own bubble. And I don't know, I get to meet some interesting people and get to know more about stuff, I guess. And to me, that's always been I don't think that's the problem. I think part of the problem is not my lack of friendship or lack of thing. I genuinely think there is I will admit that I think there's a lack of connection. Um, you know, it it's hard to. I guess I've always had problems of being open to people and being outwardly. Or I always like to say I'm an open book, but I never go out of my way to talk about stuff. I only ever answer questions asked, and you know, I never go out of my way to say that even if I'm having a bad day or even like genuinely having a problem that I need, like I've been feeling anxious about, it's hard for me to reach out to people. I never had people to reach out. I mean, I've had people to reach out to, but I never done it, you know? And it's because it's either I've relied on either a significant other or a really, really close friend. But for a long time now, I'd say for most of my teenage years, I've been very myself, especially when it comes to the negative stuff, and especially when it comes to things that I genuinely need to talk about. Like, I do call myself an open book in regards to when people ask me personal questions, I will try to answer them. But like I said, I've never gone on my way. I never got on my way to do that. And I think definitely there's a lack of connection there, a lack of, I guess, I have friends, but I never really grew deeper levels. That sounds weird, but it's like I never, and it sounds weird to say I never had meaningful connections with people. I think I failed to have meaningful moments, and I failed to deepen relationships. I guess I always regarded that as part of my romance and a part of my, I guess, pursuit of a significant other, and I've relied on that. But I do think that it is healthy to have people in your life to talk about shit, and I think part of that is because I've built up a sort of image and a persona that I'm this guy that you know is just like I'm here to have fun, and like sure I'll get serious from time to time, but I'll never talk about my own problems because I've always had a belief that I can fix them, that I can fix them, that I don't need other people to give me advice. But that's not the case. Sure, I might not need advice. Sure, I believe that I really don't need advice, but I think I can at least talk to people about it. And I always think I always had a belief that people don't want to hear about it, but eh, I'm shit's it's rough, because I always like a part of my ego always wants to make people think that I'm okay, and half of the times I am, but the other half I'm not. I play it off like I got my shit figured. I play it off like I'm good, but I'm not, man. I am not. I'm Sometimes I'm not, and that's okay. Like I should be able to say that. Like when people ask how I am, I just been, I could just say, not too well, I'll be honest, but we vibes with it. And then I'm sure like my real homos would actually say, "Yo, what's up?" Like, and and so yeah, I think I made a mistake in believing that all I needed was new friends. I think making new friends is a good path. It's a good way, but it's not really gonna solve some other problems. But I will continue to do that. I think. I just think I should deepen relationships that I already have. And how do I do that? Well, I could do it with reaching out to people and like, you know, and like I don't know. I'm gonna try to do that. Obviously, like I'm gonna try to appreciate my friends more and say like, yo, this was fun. Like, yeah, I love you guys and like all that shit like that. You know. Funny enough, I yeah. So I sort of just I know what I am. If anything, I've been taught that I'm glad that have friends and I have people. Yeah, sometimes it's toxic. I'll be honest, but oh, that's interesting. I just found out my boy Chris is moving. Hmm. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I will continue to do that. Anyway, sorry, I was just talking to someone. I will try to be more grateful and show my appreciation for things. Oh. um. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna head out. I think I don't know what else to talk about. So yeah.